King James
Dæmonologie shenanigans.
Demonology in form of a dialogue or conversation, divided into 3 books, written by the High and Mightie Prince James, by the grace of God, King of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland, Defender of the Faith, London, printed by Arnold Hatfield for Robert Walgrave, 1603.
Help me to make it make sense, Sha. I need to understand why God should allow any particular person, since they're supposed to be made in his own image, to fall into such awful and vile actions against the straight and narrow pathways. It says in the Bible that man, through original creation, was made in the image and likeness of God, but lost it through the fall. It is then put back in place by grace, only to those considered to be the elect. So everybody else who would fall away from God are given over right into the hands of the devil, that enemy, to bear his image. And once everybody is given over, oh, see, it becomes too terrible. All kinds of foolishness and to every extreme of terror. They seem to be just as happy in this, though. It's not enough for him to have this rulership over many and persuade that many into total damnation by pulling them into doing wicked things. What if he just stopped abusing these little simple, slow minded souls by making them follow him as a master? No. The devil uses every man he rules over based on how much they know or do not know. So those he finds to be slow or not too bright in the mind, those are who he will snatch up real good. He pulls out every trick to catch them up because once they are in the trap of the devil, it may be real hard to get out the trap later on, if they even want to. So this sin is a sin against the Holy Ghost. For some, but not everybody. Well, how you figure that? Aren't all those running to Satan in the same category? Child, God forbid that. Sin against the Holy Ghost goes 2 ways. One is falling back, or what some of our folks call backslide. That is going back into the world, not having nothing to do with God. 2 is doing number 1, but all the while knowing in your mind you're wrong, because you once could testify to the goodness of the Holy Ghost and how sweet God is. Remember, the ones in the first category who just backslide are all kinds of necromancers, conjure folks, the ones that call it the spirit of the dead, enchanters, folks who are magicians or out and out witches. And those are the kinds that do this wicked stuff I mentioned. So it seems like there are a whole bunch of, and not just one kind of people who claim to follow the devil like this. Please tell me, how many categories are there and what kind of folks are we talking about here? For the most part, there are 2 kinds, which, by the way, every bit of this wicked craft is not spelled out here. But one is known as magie or necromancy, conjuring, calling up the spirit of the dead. And the other one is called sorcery or witchcraft. What now? So what are all the kinds of ways the devil tricks somebody into following him? The tricks come in 3 main personal passions we have. One is letting our imaginations run wild with all kinds of curiosity. 2, wanting to get revenge on somebody. And 3, being real poor and wanting to get some nice things like clothes to put on and whatnot. It seems like the only ones tempted with curiosity are magicians or necromancer, the conjure folks. Those ones that call up the spirits of the dead. And getting revenge and some things is real important to sorcerers and witches. For that shady, crafty serpent, because he is a spirit, it's real easy for him to know our weaknesses and then figure out how to trick us until we fall off the right way of God.